Hello, friends. Welcome to Carrie Lee Creations. I am so glad that you are watching today. And for the month of February, I'm going to be making masculine cards. Here on my own channel, I'll be doing some Heartfelt Creation and some other companies. And then I'll also be doing masculine cards over on the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. So I hope you'll join me in those places and just interact and we'll share some ideas and some crafting time. So today I did make a Heartfelt Creation card. And let's go ahead and switch the camera and take a look at it. Okay, whoops, I got a little low. Here is the masculine card I made for today. And it's just a sweet little farm scene using one of the, I believe it's called Gate. My brain just went like, Gateway. Yes, it is the Palace Gateway. And I thought that created a nice backdrop for our farm scene. So let me go ahead and show you the different things I've used. I did use the sunflower paper collection. And let's see, I used this one right here. But really, any would work. I just wanted a nice kind of, pale background, a kind of a yellowy, sunshiny kind of look back there. And for our card, I used the outline on our gateway die to cut these pieces. I have the card base. I have my white piece to hide the hinge. Then I have just another, and I use the same outline die to do all of these. And one out of that piece from the sunflower paper. The back side looks like this. There we go. And then I cut the decorative piece from that set out of black. After I had it all made, I thought it might be fun to cut it out of brown and see how that would look. So if I do this a third time, I'll probably cut it out of brown just to see if that gives a different look. So before I glue this one down, I'm going to come in with my daubers, and I'm going to use some leaf green ink. And on the bottom portion of this piece, I'm going to add just a pretty wide little layer of the green ink, just kind of on this bottom section. So while you're watching here, I would love it if you would give my video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would love you have you subscribe to the channel. And I'd love to have you comment in the comments and let me know what your favorite sets are to make masculine cards. All right. I do think, now I'm going to come in with the sunflower ink. I do think that with Heartfelt Creations, it's a little more challenging to make their style in a masculine way. They do have several sets, I think, that are going to work for masculine cards, but so much of what they do are the beautiful florals and things that they do kind of lend themselves towards cards for the ladies. But we are going to explore the different masculine cards that we can make. Now I'm going around the top portion from where I did the green all the way around. I'm adding this pretty kind of yellow edge. Just flicking that on there, getting it a little, thicker. I don't want it to be just the edge. I'm putting it down on that. You can kind of see how I'm adding that on there. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and just glue all these pieces together. Oh, look, I've got my hair tie back still on my wrist. Okay, there we go. So is everyone having a nice February? I can tell you we have been just busy around here. So much going on, but it's all fun stuff. Having a good time. Lots of crafting going on. Go, and now I'm going to go ahead and add the glue to the card front instead of my piece that I'm going to put on here. That way I don't get glue too high. And now we'll just layer this piece on. All right, now for the black piece, I am just going to center that right on there. I'm going to put my glasses on real quick. So some things that I have fun coming up in the month of March, I am going to be attending a paper crafting retreat that a friend of mine puts on here in a kind of a local thing. It is over in Waco, or Temple. It's in Temple, but looking forward to that. It's a really fun place called the Rockin' R, and I look forward to going over there for a retreat twice a year where I can get a lot of crafting done. I really enjoy the the weekend retreats. We go over on Thursday and stay through Sunday, and I always get a lot accomplished, so I'm looking forward to that. All right. In fact, I believe if you're on Carrie Lee Creations, I did a post about it one year where you can see pictures of the Rockin' R and some of my friends that I hang out with there. And I give some tips to how to get a lot accomplished at a retreat. So that is something you can check out if you're interested. All right, so now that we have our card base all ready, I'm going to set that aside and we're going to stamp out our images. All right, so for the images to stamp, I did stamp our barn in a beautiful, this is the lighthouse color, but I just wanted a dark red. And to color this up, I'm going to use the vermilion and the carnation red. But before I do that, I'm going to come in with just a few markers. And I've got 2 shades of brown and a gray. And I'm going to go ahead and on all of these little crossboards, I'm going to put a little bit of dark brown in the corners. Then I'm going to come back with the light brown and just blend that out. And I like to do this before I add my ink. And I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of these boards along my barn. Takes me just a second here to get all this done. And you don't have to be super precise about it. Just adding some shadows in there. And then I'm going to come back with my lighter brown and kind of go over the darker brown, but just color all these boards. One more right there, and then our 2 across the bottom. There we go. Now you can see in this stamp there's also, whoops, I forgot a couple. Forgot this one and the roof. And go ahead and just add that right there. There we go. Now on all of these swinging doors I have hinges, so I'm going to take this gray and I'm just going to color in my hinges. Do that? No, it's just one-sided. All right, that's all I'm going to do with my markers. And now I'm going to come in, let's see, where's my correct one here? Okay, I'm going to start with the carnation red. And in all the places that I think should be the lightest, I'm going to add a little bit of that carnation red. And just kind of see I'm doing that. Now for the next one, I'm going to come in with this darker red. This is the same red that I stamped in. And I'm going to get my ink on the tip. And right up here at the tip of the barn, I'm going to kind of run my dauber along there to kind of create that shadow up there on the top. Same with down here. And in any place where I think it should be just a tad darker, I'm going to add a little bit of this. Right in there at the points of my door. And there we go. You can kind of see where I added that darker color of red. So now that I have my lights and darks done, I'm going to come back with my vermilion. I hate that word. And I'm going to color over the whole thing, including my marker. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about going over the top. I'm just going to color over the whole thing lightly. And there we go. We have our beautiful red barn. Such an easy way to do that. And just the movement of your dauber over it will give you lights and darks like the sun is hitting it. And I just think that makes a pretty red barn. Okay, for the next color, I'm going to do a little bit of Pebble Beach. And we're just going to color up our milk can. And I'm literally just going to zigzag over it a bit. And that's it. All right, now I have gone ahead and die cut my cows, but I'm going to go ahead and with my gray, my Pebble Beach, I'm just going to color a little bit of them. I'm going to leave them mostly white, but I'm just adding a little bit of shadow around the edges and on their back legs, you know, just to give a little more dimension to them. And it looks like I didn't. There we go. All right, now I have gone ahead and colored up these pieces. These pieces were from the ones that had the little bears. I can't remember the name of that set. I don't have the whole collection. I just have the sunflowers from that collection. But I'm going to come back and with a yellow marker, this is the Y19, and all of my sunflowers, I'm just going to put a little flick of the yellow ink to be my shadow. Now I colored these with the sunflower ink already, or like this sunflower, but now I'm just going to add this little flick of the marker to give some definition down in there. Go around all my flowers here. There we go. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come back with my two browns. And on the inside of my sunflowers, I'm just going to add some dots. And I've already done it to the other two, but I'll do this one right here, just to add a little bit of dimension in there. And I also added just a little bit inside the tops of my acorns, just like that. All right, all of the coloring is done. I'm gonna go ahead and die cut my barn and my milk can. Let's get all the other pieces. Quickly run these through the machine, and then we will get out the shaping mat and shape everything. So I often go to my kind of collection of cards that I have made, and you know, I'm flipping through there. I need a birthday card for a gentleman in my family, and it's like all I have is girl cards. So for the month of February, I'm just focusing on building up my collection of cards for the fellas, just so I can build up my own stash, so that this year I have some birthday cards and things for the men in my life. So if you're the same as me, I hope you will join me and just using February as a month to get ready for sending cards to different guys. And you can think of the men in your family and their kind of their interests and things. And over on the Whimsy channel, I'll be making several as well. Whoops, got tape stuck to my finger. There we go. Okay. All right, now for the next thing, I'm going to go ahead and grab my shaping mat. And I'm going to add, I got glue on this and it just doesn't want to rub anymore. It gets caught up. I'm going to have to fix that. All right. Just adding some shape here to my milk can. And on the back of my milk can, I'm going to add a piece of foam. For my barn, I'm just going to add some shape kind of around the doors and window. Just to give that one some shape. It doesn't really need a lot of shape, but I am going to shape my cows. I'm just rubbing my stylus, you know, around their body. And now right here where the two cows meet, I'm just going to press on the front. Kind of maybe just right back here. Go. And the last thing are the flowers and acorns and leaves. And for this one, I don't have the die for this, so I did have to fussy cut this. And like I said, this comes from the collection that had the teddy bears. And I don't own the whole collection, I just own this one set. If anybody has that collection and would like to get rid of it, I would love to purchase that collection. I just, I don't know how I missed that one, but I sure did. And they just sold out of it before I had a chance to get my hands on it. Okay. So here are our pieces. And I'm going to start with the barn. And I'm going to kind of have the point of my barn go right in the point of this decorative die. But I want the barn to be above this black and white checked mark down here. Okay, so whoops, about right there. And I'm just going to pretty much center it. And there we go. So I glued my barn straight down, and my flowers I'm going to add some foam to. Now these flowers right here, or this piece right here, I'm going to trim this apart so that this acorn is going to be on this side. Whoops, I did it the wrong way. All right, we're going to have to had it upside down, so we're going to just move this. I had intended to cut it on this side. I had it upside down in my hand, but that's okay. No big deal. There we go. So I'm just going to position those right along the top of this fence area. And let's see. And grab some foam tape here. For my foam, I'm going to put a little bit here on my milk can, on the cows, but I'm not going to put any foam. Oops, sorry, I'm out of the camera. I'm not going to put any foam on his head. I just pretty much want the foam on his body and maybe some down on his feet. Oops. I have something sticky on my fingers and it's causing everything I touch to go flying off. There we go. Cut some thin strips just to go here on his feet. His legs. All right, so now that I have those all on, I want everything except the barn to be raised up so that everything looks like it's standing in the foreground and the barn is in the background. And I'm going to position him so that his feet are right along the bottom edge of this black bar. And that's why I'm positioned, whoops, sorry, I have these things in my way. I didn't want my foam tape. I knew his head was going to hang off, so I purposely did not put any foam tape on his head. So the next thing I'm going to do here are my flowers. And for my flowers, I'm going to put a little piece of foam in the center of the flowers But then I'm going to add glue to the rest of it. So that flower looks like it's standing out, but the other pieces are going to be glued down. And again, I'm using this bottom edge as kind of my foreground. Nope, I think I want it over a little bit. Have to leave room for my milk can. Okay, and now for the same thing for this flower. There we go. One more piece of foam for my milk can, and the milk can is going to go right there in front of my flowers, and again using that bottom edge as my foreground. All right, now this little piece that I have made up here, we're going to add just a little more foam onto those pieces. And I think for these, I'm going to use a little bit thinner foam. I'm going to use these. They're not quite as thick as the foam I had been using. I don't need them to stick up quite as far. Right. Place that right here. Whoops, this one's coming all apart here. Use this last piece here on my flower. And I think I decided I like this flower better kind of back behind the barn instead of on top of the barn. All right, there we go. Now, for the last thing, I'm going to add my sentiment. And for my sentiment, I chose this little die that comes from the Arrows and Banners. And this is the smallest piece that's in that set. And y'all know that I love the Arrows and Banners set. And for today, I chose a happy birthday that is not a Heartfelt Creation happy birthday. It is from a Whimsy Stamps happy birthday. But I really like that font for, you know, the guys in our life. The happy birthday that fits in here that is Heartfelt Creation is a cursive happy birthday. And that's fine, but I really like this font. I just thought it was kind of farm looking and more masculine. And I did come in with a little bit of sunflower ink. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. And I just lightly brushed along the edges of my arrow. Not heavy, just to add a little bit of shadow there to my arrow. All right, and I'm going to slide that right over here. I'm going to glue that down. And this little edge, I put right along the edge of the wrought iron over there. And position that about right there. And there we go. Our first masculine card for the month of February from Heartfelt Creation. There we go. All right, kind of clean off my area here, grab my ink pen, and there we go. We have two masculine happy birthday cards. I just love the way that looks. And like I said, if I do this a third time, I'm going to use brown for my for the gate back there and see how that changes the overall look. I'll see if I like that as well. But I hope you'll join me for this month. Let me switch my camera back. All right, I hope you'll join me this month in making masculine cards. I think it'll really help me out for the year to have my stash built up so that I have some to choose from. All right, have a wonderful day, and thanks so much for stopping by. I would love it if you hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye bye.